Welcome to Twisted Liquid RC Boats. This episode of Twisted Liquid RC Boats is proudly brought to you by Blazer Marine. Interested in an RC hydroplane for yourself? Check out blazermarine.com. Also, this episode is proudly brought to you by Slycat Racing. For all of your RC boat needs, slycatracing.com. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Twisted Liquid RC Boats. Continuation in our Blazer Marine Lauterbach hydroplane build. Today on the channel, guys, we're going to conquer getting our first side doubler installed on the boat. We've got two of them into a dry fit right now, and they're fitting the boat perfectly. If you joined us in the last episode, you know how we installed the rear non-trips in the boat, and you know how we hand sanded them in the boat, and not with a power sander like they suggest you do in the manual. Right now, after you get your rear non-trips completely done, the very next step that they want you to do is they want you to put a basswood stick on the inside of the shear batten here right now, and then do the side doublers. Now guys, I got a little bit of CA glue and epoxy glue build up in some of these slots for the basswood sticks, and I'm going to go pick myself up a set of precision files before the week is out. So right now, I'm going to skip past the one little basswood stick from here to here, and I'm going to get my side doubler in place, because if we flip the page in the manual, the next step is slide the side sheeting in place. Now, the couple things I want you to notice about the side sheeting that we're going to put in today is it's flush with the shear batten, and it's flush with the first side doubler that we put into the boat. Anywhere you look, around any of the holes that might be in the two of them, any of the slots, the edges around it, and with the shear batten the same, the edge along the top, it's perfectly flush all the way right from the nose of the boat right to the tail of the boat. So get the piece fit in the boat perfectly. Now, I've got a lot of binder clamps and clamps holding it, and I really don't need these 5 clamps right here. I just got them put there so that when I do get it epoxied in, they're extra security so it can't move. If I did release those 5 clamps, this inside edge is staying tight to the rear non-trip with the way the side is sitting on the boat now. And I like that, because that tells me that that piece of wood is on there with very little stress. It's lined up flush and perfect all the way around with its slots and everything, and it's fitting the boat really nicely. Now, if you've done a good sanding job on your non-trip, this piece is going to fit the boat with a perfect, nice rounded contour. So take your time in these steps and get them done right and get them done correctly, because it's going to give you the shape and the look of your boat. Now guys, you're going to have a little bit of overhang with the non-trips and with the side doublers and the shear batten off the back of the transom. So don't worry about that right now. We will remove that later. Right now, the big thing that we got to do is get some epoxy mixed up, get it applied to the first side doubler that we installed in the boat, get it applied to this side doubler, get it applied to the shear batten, and get it applied to the edge along the non-trip. Now, as we sanded that edge on the non-trip, it widened out to probably almost 3/8 of an inch. So if you get a good coat against that non-trip edge and slide this in place and let the back go in, you should get yourself a nice epoxy joint right on that seam. And like I say, guys, if you got this done right, you can look inside your hull and you can see that the edges are sitting perfectly together. So take your time, get everything set up, get your dry fit done, and know that the side doubler you're putting on now is going to fit the boat perfect. The only other thing I want to say before we mix the epoxy up and do it definitely put some wax paper down. Right now, you're going to have epoxy probably could run down from these two pieces as you're joining them together. And you do not want to glue this frame to this jig. So just lay some wax paper down. It'll make your life super duper easy. Let's get some epoxy mixed up. Let's get ourselves to work. Okay guys, mixed up a batch of West Systems, G-Flex, coated the areas. Now before I slide the side doubler in, I want you to notice how the width of this piece increased as we sanded it perfectly parallel with the shear batten. It gives you lots of room to adhere to. This guy should slide right in place. There should be no resistance, no strain, no anything. Make sure you're lined up perfectly with your slot right away, right here. And you're flush towards the nose of your boat. Now we'll start to slowly clamp this because I've got G-Flex on both sides, on both pieces. It's essentially a laminating job with G-Flex. I haven't done a lot of epoxy work in front of you guys because I don't want to bore you with the epoxy work. You're going to have to mix up epoxy building boats. Using the West Systems, it's equal portions. I mix it for 2 or 3 minutes really well so I know that it's a good mixture when I'm using it. And I like to apply it with artist brushes. I find they're better than acid brushes. So it's just common sense epoxy techniques. Every mix of epoxy you do, you will get better working with it. So take your time, mix it up, coat your parts, and start to assemble them. And like I say, I put a coat on each side so that I know that once this cures, it's going to be good and adhered. I probably could have used 105, 207 for this. I'm soon going to pick up another mix of G-Flex because I'm starting to slowly run out from the work I'm doing. But that's okay. I don't mind that at all. Not one little bit. And as you're bringing this piece back, guys, keep using your eyes. The clamp wanted to go springy on me. Keep doing everything nice and even. Keep this edge completely flush right here. This is staying in right now without needing anything to clamp it. If I could show you this inside edge here now quickly with the camera, it's right against the rear non-trip in a perfect fit. Makes me really happy because it tells me it's going together correctly. Come on right back to the transom of the boat. Keep everything nice and flush like I say. These binder clips are perfect for this. They work great. Dead against the inside of the non-trip with no clamps on it. No strain on the wood. Little clip right there just to keep it in. Like I say, we are going to sand the overhang off once this cures. Everything's in deadly flush like I want it. Make sure it's down against your jig, guys. Make sure it's fitting in your notch perfectly. I had a larger size binder clip there because you're clamping 3 pieces. Your form stringer and your 2 side doublers together. Now, just to keep things definitely secure here, with no tension of anything at all, I had a C-clamp right there, with the lightest of finger pressure, just to keep the side doubler against the bulkhead so it can't move off of it. Finger pressure. I had the same thing done right here with this bulkhead. And if you notice, I kept my 90-degree brackets and binder clips to my bulkhead off my side inside, so that I know I'm keeping things nice and square as I'm going. I'm not using any tension on these guys. Finger pressure. They're just to keep the part laid against the other piece until the epoxy cures. They're not holding any strain or anything to the boat. Now, I am going to set it up like I had it, because I can do it very easily and it's just added security. The side can't come away from the non-trip on me at all. With a clamp right there. I'm going to take another clamp and come in right here just for the same thing, little added security. The clamp is nowhere near the epoxy either, so it's not going to harden to the boat. And I had a little one right here, just to keep everything perfect. Don't be afraid to use your clamps. They're not going to hurt. These guys are great, but these little tabs sometimes comes off on them. Can be a little bit of a pain, but I'll get it here. That's perfect there, just like that. I can't remember having this long one here just for added span. Take a good look, guys. Make sure you're dead against your edge in here. Make sure you're against all your edges on the inside. Make sure everything is good and you like it. If you want to put a couple additional clamps in places, by all means, go ahead. You're not going to hurt anything at all. And once we lay one more in place here, let's put it down here. That is the first side doubler in the boat. Now guys, like I showed you, there's no tension on these 5 clamps right here. These 3 spring clamps and 2 C-clamps. They're just keeping things in place, that's all. There's no tension on the wood as I put it on. And the binder clips are going to hold it all around the surface completely with 2 coats of West Systems G-Flex. So let's let all this harden. Let's get it cured. And we'll release it. And we'll say we got our first side doubler done. We'll spin the boat around after that's done because we'll use the same type clamp setup on the other side. And we should get our side doublers done in this episode. Good morning, guys. Good day. It's the next day after we put the first side doubler on the Blazer Marine Lauterbach. I was going to try and do 2 of them in one episode. Changed my mind. Gave everything lots of time to cure. I'm going to do them individually, 2 episodes. I don't mind. I want you guys to see the construction of this boat. And up to now, besides showing you mixing up epoxy and applying it all the time, I think I've done a pretty good job at showing you guys how all the woodworking got to get done on this boat and explaining the differences between the Gen 1 boats and the Gen 2 boats as I'm going. I'm trying to make this build series informative for you guys. I want someone to build this boat in the future, be able to use these videos as a guideline. Because I do not profess to be a professional boat builder. I'm a hobby enthusiast who loves this hobby, and I do this because I get great pleasure out of it. And it gives me a lot of satisfaction to be able to build something like this with my own two hands. So I thought about it all last night. I let the first side doubler cure. I said I'm going to unclamp it on video tomorrow. Let everybody see it. So guys, we got it in place. The only thing I changed since you're on camera, I had C-clamps here originally on the two bulkheads right here. I changed them over to plastic slide clamps. They're not quite as heavy, and I did not want to distort my shear batten in any way because I was trying to get this side on this boat with no waviness. I want a nice, gradual flowing side to my boat that's square to my jig still, and I wanted to get this adhered. Now, taking these clips off this morning with you guys is not going to take very long. I did leave them down off the edges so they wouldn't stick. I added every little binder clip I got in my collection to this side to hold it. Like I told you when I was doing it, a little bit larger one right there because you're adhering 3 pieces of wood, the 2 side doublers and the former stringer on the inside that goes up against your stem. As we unclamp it, I don't see anything springing apart so far. I see everything staying adhered, which is exactly what I want. And I guess letting it sit and cure probably gave it perfect amount of time to do what it got to do. I'll spin the boat around today. We'll start in on the other side and get that done in another episode. And we'll keep going with the Blazer Marine Lauterbach. Because guys, this build so far is going very, very well for me. And I'm very happy with it. There has been no major difficulties in doing this boat whatsoever so far. But I'm going to stress, again, like I've said, orientate yourself with the pieces that you are working with when you get this kit. And make sure you know where everything fits to and how it goes together. I can't stress it enough. And the main reason I'm going to say it is because this can get a little overwhelming when you first look at it all. You're dealing with, I believe, around 84 pieces of wood here. I think it could be somewhere in that neighborhood. And you got to get them all together perfectly. Now guys, the other side is dry fit, ready to go on the boat. All I got to do is spin it around, apply epoxy, and reclamp it. I'm going to take a quick look with you, make sure nothing's sprung off, make sure everything is adhered to the boat. I'm tapping on a 1/16 inch thick piece of wood. I don't need to force it. I'm just checking to make sure it's adhered. And it is laminated together nice in the front. Now, this came out really good so far, which makes me very, very happy. And the main thing I'm liking is that I'm seeing a nice gradual curve right there. My side doubler met up perfect with my shear batten flush right around, and my first side doubler. And the edge that I hand sanded in the rear non-trip matched it perfectly also and gave it an excellent place to adhere. Now, like I said to you, this ain't perfectly accurate, but if your boat is square right here on the side to your bottom table that you're building off, and your top table is square, you should be able to come down that side of that boat and see that you have a square boat built to your top table also. I wish I had more material right here for my square because I could go right up and show you. And that's how I got that angle, guys, on that non-trip. I know it's a way that's different than what they said to do in the manual, but the hand sanding and gradually creeping up on the shape of the non-trip gave me an excellent shape on my first side doubler. So now I'm going to get the boat spun, we're going to get some epoxy mixed up, and we're going to repeat the same exact procedure. But we're going to do it in the next episode. I want you to take care of yourself out there. I want you to have a really good day. And keep watching, guys, because we're getting the work done here. And I promise you, pretty soon I'm going to have the framework done, and I'm going to be moving on to sheeting. After this sod doubler goes in, we have 15 pieces of wood right here left to install, besides these basswood sticks. And when that's done, the frame is officially done, and you're doing the cowl work and you're doing the sheeting work on this boat. So as you can see, we're getting somewhere. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to have a really good day. I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care and stay safe.